Marc Marquez, Bezzecchi, Aldeguer, the fall of Pecco, and the storm heading into Hungary. A Grand Prix for the ages, the Marquez Masterclass in Austria. Prologue. Red Bull Ring was never his kingdom until today. The Red Bull Ring. For years, Ducati turned this track into their private fortress. Wide straights, brutal acceleration, stop-and-go corners, it was always a Desmosedici playground. Every rider knew Austria was where red armor stood tallest. Marc Marquez, for all his conquests, for all his 80-plus wins across circuits that broke bones and legends alike, had never taken victory here. Until now. Today, Austria bowed. Not to Pecco Bagnaia, not to Jorge Martin, not to the Ducati fleet. It bowed to the one man who never accepts history as it stands. Marc Marquez didn't just win here. He burned the fortress down from the inside, grabbed the crown, and carved his name into stone. And the way it happened? Pure gangster cinema. Turn 1. Sleeping lions, sudden killers. The start said it all. Bezzecchi, fearless as ever, launched like a missile and took the whole shot. Marc? He looked half asleep into turn 1. No panic, no desperate dive. Just that calm, predator patience that's become his new trademark in 2025. This isn't the reckless Marquez of old who would throw elbows at every corner just to set the tone. This is the man who waits, watches, measures. He sticks to the corner, plants the bike on the line, body left, bike right, flowing like a liquid shadow through the chicane. No wasted motion, no wasted fuel. Just the OG loading the gun while everyone else is already firing bullets. And behind them? Chaos. Jorge Martin, champion, Aprilia's golden boy, sent into the gravel like a rookie. Gone. The title defense dissolved in a puff of dust. Yamaha? The last 4 places like ghosts haunting their own funeral. Enea Bastianini clawing Raul Fernandez just to remind the paddock that when he's on, he's still the beast. And Pecco? Already clenching his teeth, already praying to gods that stopped answering his calls. But at the front, Bezzecchi dared to dream. Bezzecchi, the Aprilia Lionheart credit where it's due. Marco Bezzecchi didn't show up to hold a podium. He showed up to drag his Aprilia into a knife fight with Ducati's finest and the most dangerous man alive on 2 wheels. For 17 laps, Bez led the charge. Corner 8 became his theater, lifting the bike with the kind of cinematic flair you'd replay 100 times. Every lap, the Aprilia screamed on the edge of grip, and every lap, Marc sat behind, sucking the rubber off his tire, refusing to blink. Bezzecchi didn't fold. That's the key. Most riders break the moment they hear the number 93 thunder behind them. They run wide, they miss the line, they crumble. But Bez? He squared shoulders, dropped elbows, and gave Austria the bravest resistance anyone's mounted against Marquez since Fabio Quartararo in France. He didn't just ride, he fought. Enter the rookie, Fermin Aldeguer. And then, out of nowhere, the future came knocking. Fermin Aldeguer, 20 years old, running a GP24 like it was rocket fuel. This wasn't some rookie learning his trade. This wasn't maybe next year. No, this was a kid arriving with the swagger of someone who didn't give a damn about hierarchy. The moves? Ruthless. Pedro Acosta, the other supposed rookie phenom, got diced in the chicane with what might already be the overtake of the season. One clean cut, bike upright, no hesitation, pure instinct and steel. Then Pecco Bagnaia, king of Austria in years gone by, 3-time conqueror of the Red Bull Ring. Gone. Dusted. Aldeguer sliced through him like he was standing still. You could almost hear the air being sucked out of Ducati's VIP box. By the time Bez started feeling the heat of Marc's shadow, Aldeguer was already behind them, charging like a shark in blood. And here's the insanity. 5 laps to go, the rookie was only half a second off Marc Marquez. Half a second. Marc versus Bezzecchi, war at the front. Before Aldeguer closed in, we got the fight everyone in Austria wanted, Marquez versus Bezzecchi. Side by side through turn 3. Bodywork scraping, sparks flying. Bez refused to move aside. He slammed the door like a man possessed. But Marc isn't just a rider, he's a surgeon with a scalpel hidden under the glove. Lap 20. Marquez makes the strike. Not a wild dive, not a desperate lunge, just that clean, ice-cold move into turn 1. By the time they exited turn 2, he'd pulled half a second in 2 corners. 2 corners. That's how lethal the man is. That was the break. That was the moment Austria turned red. Not Ducati red, but blood red. Marquez red. Aldeguer's dream, Marc's reality. But Aldeguer didn't quit. That's the thing that made today historic. Most rookies would settle for third, celebrate a podium, wave to the cameras, and think about what could have been. Not this kid. He closed in, lap after lap, slicing chunks out of Marquez's lead. 4/10, 3/10, 2/10. The rookie smelled the impossible. And then you saw it. That look in Marquez's body language. The head tilted, the line tightened, the bike stood taller on exits. The man flicked the switch. What Aldeguer didn't realize is this: you don't chase the king and expect him to break. You only awaken the monster. 2 laps to go. Marc dropped times like a guillotine. Boom, gap stretched. Boom, corner exits perfect. Boom, the rookie dream cut down by the godfather of MotoGP. Aldeguer crossed the line second. Brilliant, heroic, future legend. But in that last breath, he learned the truth. You don't beat Marc Marquez by chasing. You beat him by haunting his nightmares. And right now, no one has that power. Pecco Bagnaia, from king to dust. If today had a funeral, it was Pecco Bagnaia's. The reigning Ducati king, the man who made Austria his second home, reduced to a background character. He couldn't defend against Bezzecchi, couldn't defend against Aldeguer, couldn't even defend against his own ghosts. Every lap was agony. The bike twitched, the lines broke, the rhythm died. You could see the body language of a man not fighting to win, but fighting to survive humiliation. And humiliation came anyway. 8th place, on a track he once ruled, watching his title hopes scatter into smoke. This is more than a bad day, it's a collapse. And the weight of it is brutal. Because when you're Pecco Bagnaia, you don't just lose positions, you lose the fear factor. Today, Aldeguer and Bez didn't just beat him, they erased his aura. The king of the Red Bull ring turned to dust. Martin, the fall of a champion. Let's not sugarcoat it. Martin's crash was symbolic. The reigning champion, the man who stole Ducati's empire last year, tumbling into the gravel like a rookie mistake. Aprilia's crown jewel, sitting with marshals, helmet in hands, while Marquez lifted the trophy on Ducati soil. This isn't just a crash, it's a warning. You can't afford fragility in Marquez's era. He doesn't wait, he doesn't gift you space. You fall once, you lose 10 rounds in the war. For Martin, Austria was the day the belt slipped off his waist. 6 for 6, the new dynasty. Let's put this in perspective. 6 sprints, 6 Grand Prix wins. Austria added to a streak that now mirrors his 2014 prime. But this isn't the reckless 2014 Marquez. This is the matured assassin, the godfather who doesn't waste bullets. Aragon, Mugello, Assen, Sachsenring, Brno, now Austria, all dusted, all conquered. And the terrifying part, he's doing this on a Ducati GP25 that everyone said wasn't the sharpest. Underperforming, they said. Needs development, they said. And yet, he's dragging it into legend status with sheer will. 143 points ahead in the standings, with 9 races left. You heard that right. 143. That's not a lead. That's a massacre. The cinematic corners. We can't ignore the visuals. Corner 8. Bikes lifting like movie scenes, suspension screaming, riders balancing between genius and gravity. Bez leading, Marc shadowing, Aldeguer charging, Pecco disappearing into dust. Turn 1, Marquez sleeping lion to cold killer. The chicanes, Aldeguer's fearless scalpel through Acosta. The straights, Aprilia roaring, Ducati snarling, KTM biting. This wasn't a race, this was a feature film, and every shot told a story. What comes next? Hungary. And now, the storm rolls to Balaton Park. Hungary, a new circuit on the calendar, the doctor's backyard in San Marino looming soon after. But here's the reality. The title isn't waiting. With a 143-point lead, Marc could wrap this up with 4 races to spare. He's on pace to end the championship at Misano, in Valentino Rossi's backyard. That's not just history, that's prophecy. The Godfather doesn't just win races, he rewrites the script of MotoGP. Epilogue. Long live the king. Austria 2025 wasn't just a race, it was a coronation. Marc Marquez finally claimed the Red Bull ring, the one fortress that resisted him. He did it by breaking Bezzecchi's heart, cutting Aldeguer's dream short, and reducing Pecco Bagnaia to dust. 6 for 6, a 143-point lead, a god walking among mortals. Long live Marc Marquez, the godfather of MotoGP.